I didn't know it would be that dark. It's all right. However the lighting is going to come out, this is great. I'm just happy to be live and be present and be here with you. Oh my goodness. What a great week we have in store. What a great week we have in store. Okay, so once again, I'm scheduling and we have, yes. Okay, so I am willing, okay, to pull a card if you would like for me to pull a card. Today is Metaphysical Day for some reason, so I'm doing metaphysical practices, which is fun. And the card would be for information around a question. So if you have a question, I'd be more than happy to go ahead and pull a card, okay? But it's up to you. And other than that, I'll probably just do some talking about why I post what I post. I was called today to do that, to explain like why I post some of the things that I post. And the reason that I do is because when I'm alarmed at things that are going on in the world around me, because they're horrible and it involves humanity to such a degree that bits and pieces are like not loving, right? I feel all that. I feel all of it. I'm sure that all of us do. And that's just a nice way of saying that the shit show is starting to affect me. Okay? And it does occasionally. And then it doesn't. And then it does. And then it doesn't. And I usually go into action. It prompts me into action because I'm a resilient motherfucker. Okay? And because I'm resilient, I'm more than willing to do like whatever I feel my part is in this change. Whatever the change is that I am asking for. Because all of us are asking for some kind of a change, right? So if I'm participating and it's harming humans, I say, oh, I don't think that is the change I want, okay? That's kind of like how I am. I'm weird that way. And when I see shit happening, I am aghast. That's a beautiful word, aghast. What a white term. What a fucking white term. Oh my God. Well, you know, I'm here. All right. I am so beyond humiliated that I'm associated to the race aspect of what's taking place. I'm sick to my stomach to be part of what people perceive as that race, right? Yet that's my capability. That's my capability. Not only as my race, but as humanity. I'm capable of killing another human being. I don't want to be. I would never want to be. Yet knowing that it's a direct representation of my capability, I know that I have that. So what do I do differently than the other people that are acting on their capabilities? What do I do different? Wow, so much. I look to see how I'm creating peace in my life. How am I creating peace to where my peace becomes other people's peace as well? Right? Another thing that I do possibly different, right, is I look to see people who might need my help, you know, so that way they can just make it at least. And I do whatever I can, you know, in whatever capacity I'm able. I just, you know, I'm doing my best to show up as a community person, you know, because that's what I can do. I don't have a lot of money, and I've already been to prison, so since I've been to prison, I don't want to get arrested because the situation that they have right now, it wouldn't look good for me either, all right? And I am active in different things, and I feel safe in what I do. So I'm happy. I'm happy that I'm part of what we're referring to as the resistance. Flag me all you fucking want. Okay? I have a lot in my heart about humanity, and I see such depth of possibility of us coming together. And I don't feel like we're moving away from that. I feel like we're moving toward that depth. And I don't appreciate all of the mechanics that are employed to reduce the momentum of a different direction. I think that that's kind of fucked, like really fucked. I think that we as humans could do better by one another, you know? I think that if you see somebody who needs a little bit of help, you just help them. You just help them. Somebody's carrying too many grocery bags, say, hey, you want me to help you to your car? You know, shit like that. I know a lot of times now, being approached is like, ooh, it's scary. It's scary no matter who you are, because you don't know who it is, right? And we have a total administration, a legislature, just a whole shit show of people who manipulate in not the best ways, right? And so what should a governing body actually look like, right? Maybe a governing body should look more like what I learned in NA, in Narcotics Anonymous. Maybe it should look more like that, to where your for real elected like officials are actually working for you, right? To where there is this checks and balance system, to where you get called the carpet, like, why'd you make that decision, right? Oh, I guess that's what we fucking have, right? So I guess a governing body isn't what we fucking need, right? Okay, what would we need? What would we need in order to be able to be human toward each other? To be loving toward one another? To feel safe, because that's what it is. It really comes down to safety, to provide our own safety and know that we're safe in whatever situation it is that we're in. And people are feeling very unsafe, and so that's why they're making these silly choices. So all of the people who are creating this behavior around us know how to push buttons, because that's what they've been practicing. We ourselves push buttons for others. So we get a button pushed, and then we go in turn and push a button. So the idea is to step away from the button pushing, right? And become sovereign to yourself in your thoughts and your feelings. It isn't because you're trying to detach from society and what's going on. It's so that you can center and become more of who you're meant to be. Those are the choices I make. To be different than what I'm experiencing in the shit show. Those are the choices I make. I love that I have that choice, that I can create that choice for myself, by myself, without a governing body. I have provided myself the freedom necessary to become who I am. And it isn't that I'm not going to give it up. It's that I'll change and become resilient. I'll change and become resilient. I'll change and become resilient, because that's what I've always fucking done. That's what we've always fucking done. Everybody's done that. So relax. Relax. We're good. We're going to be all right. So for me, for the Body Studios community, all right, the way that I like to connect is I like to connect through our heart. I want to know how you feel about life. I want to know what your beliefs and practices are. I want to know how the inclusive oneness that I like to practice, how does that come? How does that come into everything? And I think that if more and more of us begin to share these inclusive beliefs, the way that we could allow, right? Because like it's easy to say I believe this and but nothing else. Well, that's very lonely, all right? And not everybody even in that one group feels exactly the same. No one. So you're doing the same thing I am, just in, a different fishnet, right? So we hypnotize ourselves all day, every day into whatever it is that we want to experience. We tell ourselves yes or no, we can or cannot. And through that, we take action and have feeling, which creates meaning. So we'll give reason to the whys and hows of what we're choosing to do. That allows us greater purchase in this world to expand and take up space. And when we take up space, space is awareness. All right? When you expand your awareness, you're taking up space. Okay? When you become more inclusive toward others, you're showing the acceptance that you have developed for yourself and who you are. You become safe to yourself. You know that the reason for you is you. And that's the beauty of you. It hasn't been an easy road for me. It's been constant me like holding on like this. No, change. Whatever. And then, change happens anyway. Change happens anyway. So what kind of change would you like? And because I practice vibration, and I know that that's part of my emotional body, part of my physical body, and part of my intellectual body. And because of that, I know that all of it creates and discreates. And it doesn't change that energy is always present. It manipulates that energy. It manipulates it by giving a command to the field of frequency. And you can generate it through a thought and through a feeling. And when you're synonymous with thought, feeling, and action, you're in your mind, body, spirit element. You're deeply grounded, and that's a really, really powerful magnet. Okay? And if it's grounded in love, if it's grounded in gratitude, you'll notice that you're starting to send ripples out to people around you that you come into contact with. And you'll notice that, hey, they're moving into that same vibe, that they make your day with their willingness just as much as you make theirs. And it does take us saying hi to people. It does take us, seeing how our neighbors are, like really reaching out and finding out how people are doing. And staying up on people that we were quarantined with, find out how that's going, right? Because we're all coming into this social aspect and we're deciding what that looks like. We all dug not being around each other, and then we didn't like being all by ourselves. And so now we're finding what a balance is. And we've had all the extremes. We've had all the extremes. So we're quietly cocooning and uncocooning. And right now, because we're in the winter, it does feel like it's a very inward experience. That inward experience is because there's a lot of stuff that we're contemplating. And what are we contemplating, right? And the other day I did a video. And the other day when I did the video, it was about becoming the vibration. Okay? And if you can allow yourself to slow down enough to choose how you want to feel. So when you choose, you're in your intellect because you're in selection. And then when you want to feel, you're generating a frequency. So a frequency that matches another frequency that you're practicing. Then what happens is your body comes online with that information or that energy, right? And you begin to vibrate in a more focused aspect. You could liken it to vacuuming, right? And when you're vacuuming, you're really into it, right? And you're very focused. And you might have other thoughts, but you're very satisfied with whatever is taking place, right? So what you're practicing in the vibration is satisfaction and completion, basically. And those are bringing you conversations in your mind and feelings in your heart about satisfaction and completion and what you have to do, right? But if you just stay with the satisfaction and the completion nature of the vibration that you're generating, then spaciousness, it exists, it starts, and you don't feel so pushed, compelled toward something. That is where you get to make the best choices, because you're not doing it for anything other than the sake of making a choice because it's presented. It's an opportunity that's there. Vibration is in everything because it has a value to us. And because we have thought that provides frequency, and we have feeling that provides frequency, we are lending those frequencies to many different objects that are around us that already have their own vibration. So we're feeling all of those electromagnetic frequencies. And if you ground in the morning, that's going to give you your greatest experience for the day, because this is the largest EMF. It has all the crystals. So it's going to be a better, denser, more secure frequency than any other one that you might want to vibrate. If you're vibrating to your 5G, that's going to wear you out after a while because you're pinging, literally, right? So if you're in your, like here we are online, right? And you're not grounding first before you go online, you're not going to bring a grounded message. You're going to bring something that's very flighty and off topic, basically. But you'll notice it through your actions if you're not grounded. And if you just stop, like if things are chaotic, right? If you just stop and let them be whatever they are in that moment, and just say, oh, okay, wait. I have a story going on. Hold on. And just stop and slow down, stop. And then decide about how you want to talk to yourself about what this experience is that you're in. All right? Then you can articulate to yourself a different vibrational story or narrative. Okay? It's not that the experience has gone away. It's that telling yourself about it in a different way allows you to shift the vibration of the experience for yourself, and then it changes what can be offered to you. That's how it works. And if all of us were to begin to practice vibration, there are many things that could change around us in different ways. Many things. So finding peace and looking for satisfaction and ease inside of your body is a great way to start. And taking care of yourself and centering yourself every day is very important. And so those are the things that I practice to be different. To be supportive to my community, to be supportive to me, to be supportive to everybody that comes into contact with me. I want to be a part of the best parts of the experience, even though I know that not all of it is sunshine and rainbows. There's beauty in all of it. The beauty of our resilience, the beauty of who we are, and how we show up, right? Just to life in general. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a great day.